Alright, so I want to talk really briefly about two ways that you can promote on Mercari to really step your game up here. So, really briefly, looks like this person just is about to make me an offer. Completely unreal. Oh, just got a sale. That's cool. Alright, so we're not going to focus on that really fast. I just want to show you two ways to promote your listings that are really going to help benefit you and help you sell more on the app. Okay, so two ways to promote. If you see right here, you see the promote button on the left of these listings. You'll see that this top one, the orthopedic eye patch, has no likes, but it's gotten 3 views. The microderma roller has gotten 11 views and it's got 1 like. The cervical neck traction has 1 like and 11 views. iPhone XS Max case has 1 like and 24 views. And it's a really great way to show you, how really the demand of certain products, and obviously a lot of these are new. I just listed them like the past 2 days because I'm selling a lot of stuff really, really fast. But you'll start to see some things accumulate like 4 likes and 36 views, 6 likes and 37 views, 4 likes and 134 views with the Glock holster. So as you leave them a little bit longer, they're going to get more views and more likes, which then you can promote to more likers. So if you're patient, it's really going to benefit you. So if you hit this promote button, there's 2 things that are going to pop up. Promote to likers only, and then promote to everybody. Both of these work very, very well. What promote to likers are is you're going to offer a private discount. So I actually have, I believe, used out all my my promote to likers for the day. I've promoted this one all the way down to $6. I don't think that I can promote any of the other ones. I'm pretty sure that I'm limited for the current time period, and I'm also limited for and this is something you'll understand if you don't understand it right away. I'm also promoted to I can't promote to everybody today because I've already reached my promotional limit. So I'm just going to explain to you how you can use these to your advantage. So for example, let's say that I hadn't promoted this all the way down, right? So this kitchen culinary blowtorch that sells for $23 has 3 likes on it. So the very first thing that I might want to do is promote this to likers. And if I would promote this to likers, I can make an offer to them, and what that's going to do is they've demonstrated that they're interested in it by liking it, and what liking means on Mercari essentially is that you're basically kind of saving it for later in case the price drops. So a really effective way to prompt sales is to promote to likers. Now I wouldn't promote this to likers and offer something really, really, barely cutting anything. I wouldn't offer it $19 because you see it sells for $23. So maybe I'd drop it all the way down, and remember, I got this for free on a cashback website, so it didn't cost me anything. It's 100% profit. So I might promote this, to likers and offer them $13, $10 off, right? Boom, that probably most likely would prompt a sale, and I'd still probably net $9 on that. So I just made $9 for grabbing this, listing on Mercari, waiting a week and promoting it to likers because I got it on a cashback website. And that is the power of online arbitrage, especially with the cashback websites, but really with anything. A few of these have gotten on coupon websites as well, and some of them are from liquidation palettes, but the majority of these I think are cashback that I list on Mercari most of the time. Now, another way, so here's another great example. 10 likes, 119 right here on this this adapter. So another way that you could promote, if for example you didn't have any likes, so if you do accumulate more than 1 like on it, so that's this 2 right here up top and this 10, those are things that you're going to want to promote to likers. But this right here, the tournament size ladder ball set, has 29 views. So people are viewing it, but nobody's liked it yet. So in that case, what I might want to do is I might want to promote it to everybody. And what that will do is it will drop it $1 or $2 and then promote it site-wide. Mercari is just going to show it to a lot more people. It's going to bring more views and potential eyes on that so that you can accumulate likes on it too, and even a potential sale. So that's the 2 main ways to use the promote button to sell more. It works very, very well. As you'll see here, I literally just got a sale on this by doing so. So use that to your advantage. It will really help you sell more. Now, this is going to be a business and an entrepreneurship lesson, just 101, right? He who offers the best products and more value will win in the end. So over time, the person with the best product, the person with the best service, the person that offers more value and gives more to their audience or to their customers will win more over time than the person trying to extract that value, right? Same thing goes with e-commerce and selling anything, especially as it relates to this Poshmark and the Mercari apps and websites, right? So the key here is, and this is obviously with Mercari, but the same thing goes with Poshmark as well. It's common sense. You want to offer more listing value on those websites, right? And on your specific closets than potential competition, right? And this should not be too hard for you to do if you're getting cheap or free items, because like I said, you're getting cheap or free items and the other people have to source them for, a higher margin. So I'm going to give you two examples here in a second, but all that basically means is that if it's selling for, a certain price on Amazon with Amazon free Prime shipping for, like, let's say it's an Amazon Prime item, it's selling for $13, right? Well, you should sell it for a lower price and also offer free shipping. And the reason that you can do that is you got it free or cheap from maybe a liquidation powder, a cashback website, or a coupon website, or a bulk deal website, right? It shouldn't be too hard for you to do that. And if you offer more listing value, you're going to have more repeat customers, and people are going to see that because customers are smart, and a lot of them are going to do their research. So let me show you what I mean by this specifically. Let me pull up two examples for you. First example here, you'll see that I literally purchased this on June 6th, so not too long ago. I think I got this from a cashback website, and it retails on Amazon for $15, $14.97 with Amazon Prime, right? Well, I have it listed on Mercari. I literally just listed it on Mercari for $14. Now, it comes with free shipping, like you see here, and it's $14. So if I'm a customer and I'm going to look to buy this item or something like it, right? Which one am I going to prefer to buy, right? $14 with free shipping or $14.97 with free shipping. Obviously, there's more value here. Now, the shipping isn't as fast, but I usually ship out pretty fast. And if you look at any of my reviews, it says fast shipping, this and that. So I could drop this price down a little bit. I could also keep this at 14 and then promote it to certain likers. As you see here, it's already accumulated one like. I literally just posted this yesterday, I think 20 hours ago. So I could promote that to a liker for maybe $9 and still make money because I got this 100% for free, right? Or maybe for $11 and still make money because I got this 100% for free. Now, who do you think they're going to buy for? Who do you think they'd prefer to buy for? This one, this product listing, or this product listing? Obviously, this product listing is going to win 99.9% of the time because there's more value, and obviously they're not paying as much for that same item. Same thing with this example, and I could go down the board with countless examples, like hundreds of them on both my Poshmark and my Mercari listings specifically. Now, obviously, this is not relating to dropship arbitrage. That's a slightly different business model, and that's why I recommend that you do that on a different closet or a different store as well. With that, you're just kind of, you're playing the numbers game, and you're really just, kind of seeing what works and what doesn't, and you're banking on the fact that they're not going to do their product research. However, when you're doing reselling and you're getting cheap products or free products, that's what you want to focus on. So, same example here. Bought this on June 8th, 3 days ago. Got this from a cashback website. Got this for free. $19.99 retails on Amazon Prime. So who do you think, somebody looking at something like this, who do you think they're going to rather purchase from most of the time? $19.99 with free shipping or $17 with free shipping? Same general, exact listing, same product, but obviously one sells for $2 cheaper. And the whole idea here for me is I'm going to accumulate a couple likes, then I'm going to make an offer for maybe like $13 or maybe $11. Still make money, because even if Mercari takes their cut and I net, like, let's say I sell this for $11, which is super, super cheap, a lot better than $19.99 and free and Prime shipping, right? They're getting free shipping. I offer it to them for $11. Maybe I net like $6 or $8 or $7 or $8 or something like that. And I just made $6 or $7 or $8 reselling this item that I got for free through a cashback website. So that's the power of, basically offering more listing value. Now, this goes on Poshmark, this goes on Mercari, it goes on literally anywhere else that you're going to be doing arbitrage. That's a principle in online entrepreneurship and in business in general, but especially with e-commerce and reselling with online arbitrage products. So another thing I really wanted to touch on really briefly is one of the new things that they implemented. You'll see once you start logging on to Mercari that you basically get a number of badges, right? So if you see here, like, you'll get like the verified on through email badge, right? The verified identity badge. And one of the things that you want to go after too is the verifying, like the ID badge. So you can send in your license or your ID card, right, to Mercari. So you basically take a picture of it to verify who you are and your identity. And that will give you another badge. Now, is this required by any means? No, it's not required by any means. That said, it will help other buyers buy from you with confidence, and it's all about giving that kind of extra badge that might increase your sales. So you don't have to do it, but I would recommend sending in and submitting an ID or a license for the ID verification badge so that other buyers will know that, hey, Mercari has verified this person. They know who this person is, even if I personally don't, right? Because I sell from my e-commerce business name, Lively Listings, so nobody knows who I actually am on the Mercari platform, right? But that said, the other people know that, hey, Mercari has verified who I am, so Mercari knows who I am, so they can buy from me with trust. So I recommend, you don't have to do it, but I recommend sending in your ID and your verification to get your to get your verified ID badge on Mercari. It will and should, as they say, increase your sales. So a lot of people ask me, how do you do product research on Mercari? What's the best method? And my usual answer is it's really just trial and error at the end of the day. So let's say hypothetically you're on a cashback website, like let's go to TestSon really fast. So let's say hypothetically you're on TestSon and you're thinking to yourself, well, is this LED closet light a good thing to sell back on Mercari? How do I do product research? How do I test the sales velocity? How do I see what the potential demand is for a product like this on Mercari? And my initial answer is twofold, right? So it's A, you're getting it for free, so it really doesn't matter. You should just take some chances, right? And see what works for you. And that's going to tie me into number two because A, it's free, so it doesn't really matter if you buy it and I can't sell it. Because I would say, let's say hypothetically, for every 10 products I get, I might sell 8 of them for a profit. Maybe one of them sells for like a break even, and one of them I don't ever sell because it's just not a good product. But if you're getting high quality products, and more importantly, you have a high quality listing, so which is true for all of these products, because you can take the product pictures and you can take the listing on Amazon and then morph it over to Mercari. Most of them are going to sell eventually if you have patience and you relist them continuously, right? But the majority of them will sell. But if you are interested in doing product research, there's basically two ways, right? So my advice to you, first and foremost, and this is what I do, okay, is just go after everything and start to see what works for you. The more you do it, let's say hypothetically after you source like 50 products, and remember, you can get 50 free products, so there's literally no risk involved here if you're doing cashback products. Start listing a bunch of different things. You'll start to notice trends and patterns of certain things that sell really well, certain types of items that sell better than others, certain items that you've listed that don't really seem to get any views. And Mercari tells you all that information, right? It's going to tell you how many likes an item gets, how many views it gets, and it's also going to tell you can also see what sells and seems to sell quickly or better. So you'll start to notice that, okay, this is like the third LED light that you've listed and it's not selling very well, so probably you don't want to go after this cashback item, or you might not make it that high of a priority. But socks always flip very well for you on Mercari, so maybe that's something you want to go after, right? So trial and error is really the best way, in my opinion, to do it, especially because you have no risk because you're getting free products a lot of times, or very, very cheap products. Now, a perfect example of this is like all electronics for me. So like anything that's like an HDMI adapter, or anything that's like a CD drive, or anything like that has been flipping like candy on Mercari. So every single time I see one of those, I make it a priority to go after that product first because I know that it's going to sell, and it's going to sell for a higher margin, right? Trial and error. That said, if you do want to do product research, the only way that you can potentially do product research on Mercari is to simply search for items like that and see if it's going to sell. So LED closet, or see what other people are offering them for, how many potential likes that they've gotten, and how many other offers there are, right? So if you hop on this and you see 100 other LED closet lights that haven't sold, probably not a good item to buy, because the chances that somebody's going to find yours and buy it compared to all the other ones isn't that good, right? But if you only see 3 others and one of them has sold and 2 of them have, the other 2 have like 2 likers, probably a good opportunity to buy, right? So I would recommend that what you do is just simple trial and error, because you're literally getting like no risk products for free, which you can then resell for a margin. But if you want to do product research, this is how you want to do it. You want to just search for it on the Mercari search bar. So you're going to search LED light, and we'll see what pops up. And that's super broad, right? It's important. You want to go super broad first and then slowly niche down. So LED lights, it looks like there's over 1,000 results, but obviously that's super broad. So people are listing these, so they might potentially be selling. So if we just click this one sold, if we click, this is like lights for outside, but we just click a couple and we see, okay, this one doesn't have any likes. Let's see, this is a water LED light. And this one has 3 likes, and it was updated 3 hours ago. So it was originally posted 2 days ago, and it already has 3 likes, so that's decent, all right. But what we want to do now is, because there's so many of these, we probably want to niche it down a little bit more. So we'll go LED. What's a better keyword for this? LED closet light. Or maybe just closet light. We'll see what pops up. So now it narrows it down a little bit more. 505 results. So here's a light bar, which is pretty much what it looks like ours is, right? Same thing with this one. So we'll figure out what they're priced at, how many likes they have, and when they were listed. So this one was listed 7 days ago, so a week ago, and it has 4 likes already. So there is a demand for that. That's a good sign, right? The worst thing that would happen is there's like no likes and no views. And obviously you can't see the views on other people's things. You can only see it on your own. But this is just giving you an indicator of potential demand, right? So if it were listed a month ago and it has 1 like, probably not a good idea, right? If it was listed a month ago and it has no likes, probably not a good idea. But it was listed 7 days ago and it has 4 likes. So 4 people have pinned this as a potential product that they want to buy in the future. So good indication. This one was listed 2 days ago. It has 1 like, so not enough time really. It's a good, in my opinion, because it's only been 2 days and it already has a like. So that's a pretty good idea. You'll also notice that sometimes when you list stuff, hence the trial and error that I talk about, you'll notice that some things get views and likes immediately and some don't. That indicates more demand for the things that are getting more views and likes than the other things that aren't, okay? So let's try one more example really fast. So let's try exercise resistance bands. Exercise, resist, I don't even know how to spell resistance bands. It might have been an E in there. Don't know. But so, look, looks like a lot here. So this looks like it was listed fairly recently. This looks like it's resistance band set as well. Let's check these two out. So this was listed today and it already has 3 likes. So it's listed for 20 and it already has 3 likes. That's pretty good. So while there is a lot of listings on here, it seems like there's a decent demand. Let's check about 4 of them. So this one was listed today. Has no likes, but that's, 2, it was literally listed 41 minutes ago, so not a good indicator. This one was listed over a month ago, and it has 9 likes. So it hasn't sold yet, and it looks like they've dropped the price about $10, but it does have 9 likes, so it does indicate a potential demand, so not a bad product. And that's all you're looking for really here is a potential demand. Now this one also doesn't have, it was listed 2 days ago and also doesn't have a good like. So it does seem like there is opportunity in this product. You'll notice the more that you do product research, some things you'll notice like you check 4 or 5 of them and they get like 1 like and they've been listed a while ago. Probably not a good product. But these obviously we just saw 9 likes and I think the other one was like 4 likes or whatever, or 2 likes, and they've been listed fairly recently, so not a bad idea. So 2 ways, like I said, first and foremost, before we even get into the 2 ways, if you're just sourcing cashback products, you don't really need to worry about it because you're getting them for free. And keep in mind, too, that obviously this is a Mercari course, but you can sell them back on Poshmark. You can sell them back on eBay. You can't sell them back on Amazon because they're cashback products, but you can sell them back on Poshmark, Mercari, or eBay. So if they don't sell on Mercari, flip them on another website, okay? And you can look into multi-channel listing software if you want to. I've actually talked about multi-channel listing software before, and I'll make sure to drop a lecture after this video that covers multi-channel listing software so that if you instead don't just want to list this on Mercari, you want to list it, literally use multi-channel listing software, which is you put the listing into the multi-channel listing software, and instead of just listing it on one, it lists it on Mercari, Poshmark, and eBay, right? And then it takes it off once you sell it. That's what multi-channel listing software is, but trial and error is the first way, right? See what works for you, see what doesn't, then replicate and buy more of what does. Don't buy any more of the things that don't seem to be selling. Simple as that. That's what I do. Or you can do product research, but just keep in mind that there's no real way to do product research on Mercari. You just look for likes and potential indicators of, interest in that product. So that's how you do it. Next will be multi-channel listing software, and then we'll hop back into the course material. So this is going to be a huge time saver for you guys, right? Now, I'm always looking for different ways to save time and, basically make the job for online arbitrage easier. So this is not going to be for Amazon, but this is going to help you out if you're selling on eBay, Poshmark, or Mercari, or all of them, right? So what this is it's a multi-channel listing software. So instead, in the past, I would tell you, okay, list it on Poshmark, then list it on Mercari, then list it on eBay, right? Or any of the other websites, right? Then it would take you, even though if it was like a short period of time, it would take you like a minute or 2 each one. Instead, wouldn't it be great if you could just list it once and then have that software distribute the listing on each different platform so you only have to list it once and not 3 times every single time, right? Because if you're listing like 50 to 100 products a month or more, that's going to save you a ridiculous amount of time and make your job a lot easier. Also, it's going to manage your sales. So if you sell it on one platform and you only have a quantity of one, it's going to remove it from the other platforms. So there are a lot of multi-channel listing softwares out there, but the only one that I've come across that lists on the ones that I focus on and the ones that I recommend, so we're talking it lists to Mercari, it lists to Poshmark, and it lists to eBay, all with the click of one button, is List Perfectly. Now, List Perfectly is a phenomenal software that I utilize. Now, you can't just sign up for this. It is getting on the wait list, so you have to go to listperfectly.com, hit get on the wait list, and then in a couple days after that, they'll send you an email like this that says you can finally get started and you want to go to listperfectly.com/onboard, right? So it does come with a 3-day trial. So once you complete your onboarding and you set your account up, your 3-day trial will begin. And then if for whatever reason you feel like it's not worth it, you could just cancel and you will never be charged. But I'm telling you, for the prices that you're paying, if you plan on listing on eBay, Poshmark, or Mercari to any certain degree, this is going to be a lifesaver. It's going to save you time. It's going to make you more money so that you're not wasting hours and hours and hours every month listing on every single platform. Instead, you're just doing it once and then it's boom on all of them. Great way to do it. Multi-channel listing software for the win. Highly recommend List Perfectly. So now once you get on the wait list, you get your email and you're about to get your free trial, right? This is exactly how it works. I was going to create a tutorial basically and show you, but why not just play it for you? Let's watch it really fast together. It's a minute long.
Perfectly simple subscription is just that. Simple to use with only the features most small sellers need. Upload your images and use templating for faster listing. Then send those listings to sales channels.
Forgot Etsy too. Great.
Post an item on one channel one day, then post another later without having to find or download images, copy pasting title.
Another great thing that you're going to see here in a second is, so obviously I forgot Etsy as well, and once you sign up for this, you can rewatch this tutorial, but I think it's really, really helpful. I'm going to continue to play it until the end here in a second. But one of the things that's also great about List Perfectly that I forgot to add is you can take eBay listings directly, right? So you can't pull from Amazon. I believe that they're starting to integrate that. They're talking about adding that as a part of the extension coming soon. But you can take listings directly from eBay and put it on your Mercari or your Poshmark store, right? So if you're planning on listing something on eBay or you're about to list something on eBay, you can then go ahead and grab that eBay listing and also post it to Poshmark or Mercari. So it works very well, but she's going to outline that for you here in a second.
Description. You can also import your eBay listings into List Perfectly with a click of a button. No character counts and limitations before cross-posting. Keep track of where your item is listed to easily identify where to send your item next. Features include creating your own templates to make listing even faster. Apply them from a simple drop-down. Create listings from any device, your phone or computer. If you need more features, check out our Business and Pro subscription.
So that's just the tutorial for the normal one, which is what I have. So I have the simple plan. You can also upgrade if you plan on scaling this up. So if you're like really, really scaling up the cashback arbitrage or something like that, right? To like hundreds of products every month or sometimes even thousands. If you're really on that level and you have multiple accounts, then you might want to look into Business and Pro. It's going to save you a ridiculous amount of time at that point, and it's going to save you and make you a lot of money. I also, like I said, forgot that you can list on Etsy as well. So that's Etsy, Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari, all with the click of a button. And you can also pull directly from eBay listings and grab that and post them to those other platforms as well. So highly recommend that you look into this software. It's going to save you a lot of time and money. And with that being said, I'm going to end this video, but keep an eye out for a future tutorial coming below on how I utilize it and how it helps me out. And also keep an eye out because I've heard, I haven't directly heard it from them, but I've heard talks that they're introducing Amazon listing pulling as well. So you won't just be able to pull directly from your eBay listings, but you'll also be able to pull directly from the Amazon listing, which is great news for us because a lot of those cashback products, you won't have to copy and paste or download the pictures and then upload them to List Perfectly once, which will save us even more time because you can literally just put in the URL and it will pull the Amazon cashback products and then post it to Mercari, Poshmark, eBay, and Etsy with a click of a freaking button. So, hope you enjoy this. I'm telling you, hop on the waitlist and utilize this. It will save you time and make you more money. All right, so I want to cover really briefly the best and the cheapest shipping practices that I can give you. Now, in my opinion, there's a lot of ways to go about doing this, and it's relevant across e-commerce business models. So what I'm going to do is, really briefly, I'm going to read some stuff to you, and I'm going to explain it to you. But I actually did an entire lecture on this previously, so I'll make sure to clip it as streamlined as possible and put it next. Now, watch that lecture next, because while I'm showing you all this stuff on the computer in front of you, I actually go out and break it down physically in front of you and say, this is how you use it, this is how much you can expect that this costs, this is whether I think you need it or you don't need it, and vice versa. So regardless of what you're doing, if you're shipping on Mercari, there's many ways to ship different items. So you're going to need quality packing tape, something I talk about in the next lecture that I'm going to drop after this, right? You're also going to need either envelopes or poly mailers or boxes, right? So there's 3 ways to do it. You can see I've literally purchased all this stuff many times. Poly mailers, to give you an example, and envelopes, to give you an example. And then another thing that you can utilize too, because a lot of the products that I'm going to suggest and I have suggested to you are like cashback Amazon products or like coupon Amazon products, right? Is you can utilize those same Amazon boxes if you need to. I'd recommend going this way. I would recommend going with the poly mailers or the envelopes. Probably the poly mailers. About 99.9% of the stuff that I ship out these days are all from poly mailers, right? Different size poly mailers. So you have like bigger ones, you have smaller ones, all sorts of different sizes. Just they're super cheap. You're getting like $17.49 for a 100 pack, which is like $1 something, it's like $1 something per envelope. So it's super or poly mailer, so it's super cheap. And you might even be able to find better prices. I haven't really looked. I just always buy the same one or the same type of poly mailer. But so what I'm trying to say is this is going to make you look more professional. So either poly mailers or envelopes, you can get them super cheap. Or if you're desperate and you just want to reuse the Amazon boxes that come with all your packages, then break them down and save them. It will save you a lot paying for it. But you're going to need tape, you're going to need Amazon boxes potentially, and you're going to either need poly mailers or envelopes. Another thing that you're going to need too, if you decide to go this route, so if you don't want to use the boxes or you don't want to use the Amazon poly mail or the poly mailers or the envelopes, is you can get shipping paper. So if we just go like shipping paper or packing paper, it's super cheap, and I actually usually go to like Walmart. Here's like a roll of multi-purpose craft. I think they call it like craft paper or like packing paper or shipping paper, whatever. It looks like this, and it's a long roll. So I usually go to, this is a big one, so 900, 900, I guess that's inches, so long. I usually go and I buy like 2 or 3 of them, and they're usually like $2 or $3 a piece, and that lasts me like wrapping. It's like it's like a roll of wrapping paper, right? And it's like $2 or $3. It's super cheap. You can do that as well, and I'll break all this down for you in the next lecture, so make sure to check it out. But shipping is super crucial, and with Mercari, if you're offering, regardless of if you're charging shipping or offering free shipping, you need to understand the best and most economical ways to ship your products while keeping it professional looking or as professional looking as possible. So we'll cover that in the next lecture. If you need to know that, let's hop into it. So another thing I really want to talk about briefly too is, and I covered this in the intro module a little bit when I covered the course overview, is the difference in strategy of where you are at, right? So a lot of people get carried away in like listing super high originally, and that's definitely a strategy to get sales. Although I would recommend that when you're just starting out, list a bunch of stuff super cheap, or right around super cheap, so that you get the initial few sales, maybe like 10 to 20, so you can get initial 10 to 20 sales and initial 10 to 20 reviews. Because the more you have 5-star reviews on your account, you'll start to notice that the more of these you actually have, the more people will buy from you with confidence, and they won't even think twice about it, right? To give you an example, and this is relevant from eBay and this is relevant for Mercari as well, and obviously we're talking about specifically Mercari. When I first started selling on Mercari, I had like 5-star reviews, right? Or like 10 5-star reviews, right? And I would list things super cheap, but they wouldn't sell. And I'd list other things or sell as fast. And I would list things like higher, and they just wouldn't sell, right? But that's because not many people would come to my closet or my listing and see this person has only sold 5 things or only has 5 reviews. They would trust me, but they wouldn't trust me as much, right? So as I started accumulating more and more reviews and more 5-star feedback, now people come and they don't even think twice about it. They just think, oh, great products. The price is there, and oh, this trusted seller, buy. I don't even think twice about it, right? So what I'm trying to say is you might want to, and you don't have to go this route, but I would recommend that you do with a few items initially. And the benefit of this course that I'm giving to you is you can get free items, which you can then sell cheaply likely initially to get your initial reviews, and then you can still get those free items to then make higher margins in the future, right? So list some things and take a few hits, selling cheap items originally to get some reviews and some social proof, so that in the future, once you have some reviews down, you can sell things higher prices and they will sell a lot faster once you have social proof. Now I want to cover relisting old products or products that don't seem to be selling or products that don't have a margin for you anymore. What it can do wonders for you if you relist it. Now, one of the things that you'll notice with Mercari is when you list an item and the amount of views that it initially gets, not always the case, but the amount of views that it initially gets does play a huge role in the overall, trajectory of the views that it might get or the likes that it might get originally. So what I'm trying to say, if none of that makes any sense, right, is let's say, for example, these are all the newer items that I've listed, right? So we have this sports ball for 25. It's not showing you how many likes there are currently as my dog's trying to get up on the table. We just got a puppy. Down, Pen. Teaching right now. I'm going to keep that in. I'm not even going to cut that out because she's so cute. But so what I'm trying to say is the initial ones, right, are, you're going to get views and likes on them, and the price is set somewhat higher so that you can slowly drop it down as you start promoting your listings, right? But if we scroll all the way to the bottom of my closet, you'll see some of the things that have sold, and some of the things that haven't sold, right? So this is all the way down to $9 right now, and I've already promoted it to all my likers at what is it, like under $6, which is, I think, is the cheapest that you can go, right? So same thing with like this shirt right here, right? So the chances of me selling this for a profit are very, very slim now because I've promoted it to the point where the listing is so cheap and all the likers, there is no more potential to offer to the likers. So what I'm trying to say is, what you want to do is start listing it higher and higher and higher like these initially, and then slowly drop it down and offer to likers, and slowly drop it down to offer to likers by creating that error or that illusion of, essentially, of creating value in the listing. Because if somebody, let's say hypothetically this is only valued at like 15 or 20 bucks, right? But I list it at 30 bucks, and then I start, as it accumulates likes and as it accumulates views, I promote it more and I start offering to likers, right? And it drops it down to like 25 bucks or makes an offer for like 20 bucks to a liker. Well, that creates the illusion of value because they're getting a $30, what they see as a $30 product for 20 bucks instead of potentially getting a $20 product at face value, right? So while you're doing that, if for whatever reason this strategy fails for you, you can simply take this. And this listing, for a perfect example, is $9, and there's no really opportunity. Look, it dropped all the way from 45 bucks because I promoted it so much, and it dropped all the way there. So what I might want to do instead is just take this, delete this old item, and you want to do that afterwards, obviously. So what I want to do is, if I click this right here, I go to sell, and you can do this with all your old items that aren't selling very well. And you're just going to re-index them like I've talked about before. So you're going to take all these pictures, you're going to download them, save them, and literally just copy, paste everything over, create a brand new listing, and then delete the old one, right? So you're going to have a brand new listing now that sells for, originally I think it was like 45 bucks or whatever it was. Let's check it. It was, I think it was 45 if I remember correctly. 45 bucks, and then you have another potential chance to slowly drop it down and re-index it, right, and make offers to likers. So if something doesn't work originally, don't just leave it that low, right? Relist it and then make more offers in the future. Eventually it will work and it will sell for you for a profit. So now I want to touch a little bit more about the SEO in your listings and the value there. Now, one of the benefits of Mercari is that you can obviously, just like on any platform, you can upload pictures that are saved with metadata, and I'll cover what that means in a second, okay? And that's going to increase your SEO and the potential visibility that you get on the platform. You also get over I think it's 1,000 characters actually, specifically. You get three hashtags to give you more visibility so you can index your products correctly, right? And you also get 1,000 characters in your description. So you want to utilize everything that they offer to you to get the most SEO bang buck, so that A, you're giving Mercari more information to suggest it to the people that it knows might be more inclined to like this. Because just like, to give you an example, like Facebook, right? Facebook has data on everybody. So people that run ads on Facebook can use Facebook's data to then suggest their stuff to, the people that are more inclined to like it, right? Same overall idea with any marketplace or any platform. And same thing with Mercari, right? So you want to give, by giving SEO, and SEO is just search engine optimization for those of you that don't know. by giving Mercari the most potential valuable information and indexing your item properly, it's going to do two things, right? A, it's going to increase your search visibility, because if somebody comes and searches for, hooded sweatshirt, you're going to have more potential to show up for that, as opposed to other listings that don't do their SEO very well. So you're going to have more visibility in search. You're also going to have more suggested visibility, because you're going to give Mercari more information to then suggest this item to people that it already knows are more inclined to buy that, right? And that's how SEO works. It works twofold, right? Not just search, it works twofold, search and suggested. So to implement this right, here's an example of a product that I literally bought on Amazon a few days ago that I just listed on Mercari. Same overall business model that I'm teaching you guys to do, right? And I listed a little bit high so I can slowly drop the price down. So what I would want to do is I'd want to save all these pictures, right? And then I'm going to take them in here. But I don't just want to save this and I have to actually snip this picture out. Some of these you have to snip, and other ones you can just right click and save. But this one doesn't look like I can do that. So take my snip tool on PC and I'm just going to snip out the picture, right? And then what do I save this picture as, right? Do I just save it as one? No. Do I just save it as hoodie? No. I want to save this with the most SEO'd out potential picture possible, because the more times I upload a picture that's named women's casual hoodie, long sleeve, sweatshirt, crew neck, drawstring, hooded pullover, is going to give it more SEO and visibility on the platform, because you're saving your picture and you're increasing the picture's metadata to index for those keywords, okay? So that's a lot. If you don't understand it, just rewind like a minute and replay it. So put simply, you always want to save your pictures as keywords, right? So what do I want to save this as? Well, maybe I save it as women's casual hoodie, long sleeve, right? I'm not just saving this as one. I'm not just saving this as hoodie. I'm not just saving this as sweatshirt. I'm saving this as women's casual hoodie, long sleeve, sweatshirt, drawstring, hooded pullover, top, right? And I save that as one. And the next thing, I come to picture two, and I save it literally as the same exact thing. Save it as the same exact thing, and you'll see I literally did this with the same padded right here. So I'm not just telling you that I do this. I'm saving it the same exact thing, but now I'm saving it as two. So then when I go and I upload this to the listing, I know exactly where I'm coming from it, and all this picture's metadata is saved when I upload it, right? So Mercari's not just getting information. They're not just getting information of the pictures and what's in the listing. They're getting the metadata in the pictures that says what is in this picture, that allows them to increase the search visibility for what it actually is, and also allows them to increase their suggested, and target the people that are more inclined to potentially buy this hooded sweatshirt, drawstring, hooded pullover. Okay, so make sure you're using all of that. Another thing that you want to do, right, is you want to use all your potential description. So if you have 1,000 characters, make sure you use up to as close to 1,000 characters as you potentially can. And a lot of Amazon listings are like over 1,000 characters, so you can literally just copy and paste the description and bring it over and make sure it looks streamlined, okay? Use everything. So to go back into this to show you what I did, I think I used practically as much as I could for this listing. So I took everything out of it. So 765 characters. I used the title almost. I used all the pictures. I don't think I could find a brand name because it was a private label product, but if there's a brand, you want to put that in there. It's going to help index it. I have three keywords here in hashtags. I categorized it as a hooded sweatshirt, and I gave them all the potential metadata and all the potential SEO that I could potentially do. Too often I see people, and this is the same on Poshmark and Mercari as well, is they'll buy something and they'll try to sell it, but they don't. They write like a sentence in their description, or they don't bother to fill out the keywords or the hashtags. And it's like, why would you not do that? Give them all the potential SEO now, so that slowly over time as it sits there, you'll have more eyes and potential views on that, which means more potential sales. All right, so I want to talk really briefly about a new feature that I've noticed when you're actually listing on Mercari from the app, okay? And this is strictly just listing from the app. A lot of what I teach and a lot of what I do personally is listing from the computer, because usually it's either like a cashback product if I'm listing on a site like Mercari or even Poshmark or eBay or something like that, right? I'm either listing it from a liquidation palette or a cashback product, and so there's usually either a product catalog or another spot online where I'm grabbing the pictures, the details, the description, all that good stuff. So it's easier in a lot of ways to list it back from the computer. most of the time, okay? Now, if for example, you're going out to thrift stores or you're sourcing somewhere or, sourcing from a garage sale or something where it's difficult for you to actually, there isn't actually a place where you can take the pictures and the description and, or maybe even a liquidation palette that doesn't come with a lot manifest that you can't check, right? So like you need to take your own product pictures yourself, then chances are you're gonna be listing from the actual app, okay? And this new feature is gonna help you out a lot. So what it basically is it's a new pricing feature when you list directly from the mobile version of the app, obviously, that tells you at the very end, once you input your price and you go to actually list it, tells you what they recommend you actually list that product for, okay? Now this is really beneficial because it's literally gonna give you a little, and I'll pop these pictures up on the screen so you can kind of see 3 different examples of that same product. It's gonna show you an example of like, hey, if you list it, within this tier of the pricing, then you're gonna sell it relatively fast. That's what they're guessing and suggesting to you based on other relevant, things on the platform that are selling at that price point, how fast they move. So you can obviously expect yours to move a little bit faster if you list it there or a little bit under, right? Now, the sweet spot obviously is in the middle, right? So not too low, but not too high. Then obviously it's going to sell, fast, but you're gonna make a margin on it, which is usually ideal, right? Or it might sell a little slower, but you're still gonna make your margin, right? Now you'll see that once you get into the red, you'll start to see that, hey, this is a warning, this is a slow sale. If you list it this high, chances are it's going to either not sell or take a long time to sell because a lot of other similar items are priced below you on the platform. So if somebody else is searching for an item like that, there's a very low chance that they're gonna buy yours because your price is a lot higher than other similar items on the platform, right? So your best bet in that aspect, if you're gonna list it high and you see the red, and I do this all the time, it's okay if you do it, is to promote to your own followers by using the promote button to drive it site-wide, or use the promote button and accumulate obviously likes, right? And then use the promote button to drop your price and convert likers to buyers, okay? That's really the only reason and way that you're gonna really convert a lot of buyers if you list it high, right? So I just wanted to kind of touch on this new pricing feature that you see when you actually go to list on the Mercari app. It's really valuable. It's gonna tell you where you are in the pricing structure. So if you guesstimate that you're about to list something for 30 bucks, right? There's no guessing anymore. You don't necessarily have to go out and do all the product research yourself or do this through the search bar on Mercari on your computer and see what other products are out there and what they're selling for. Mercari is literally gonna tell you when you're about to list, like, hey, you're a little bit low, or hey, you're a little bit higher, like, hey, you're right in that perfect tier, and you can either raise your price or lower it. So really hope that helps. Check it out, test, list something from the app. You'll see that it, how it actually is set up, and you'll also be able to really easily see how it's gonna help you going forward. Tip number 1 now is to list your prices high. By listing your prices higher than normal or higher than retail value, you'll be able to accumulate more views and more likes. You'll also then be able to use the most valuable tool that Mercari gives sellers, which is the promote button. If you list your prices too low, not only will you miss out on chances to sell your products for more initially, but you'll also miss out on the chance to continue to promote your products to the people that have viewed and liked your listings. Now, the reason for this is because Mercari stops you from promoting at a certain price point where it's no longer profitable for them. So by listing your prices higher, you'll get an opportunity to sell them for more profit initially, obviously. You'll then get an opportunity to promote more times over the lifespan of that particular listing. And you'll also be able to drive up the perceived value of your item so that if you do make an offer through the promotion button in the future, well, there'll be more perceived value on the customer's end. That ties me into tip number 2, which is to promote. Promoting my listings is the single best way that I sell on Mercari. Now, sure, every once in a while, I just list something and it sells right away, maybe because there was either higher demand on the marketplace than usual for that item, or one of my followers saw it and they wanted it for whatever reason. But most of the time, I have to use the promote button to drive sales and increase my visibility on the platform. Now, there's 2 main ways to promote your listings on Mercari. Now, the first one is to promote to likers by making an offer lower than the listing price. And this will send a notification to all those likers on that listing that you've offered the item they've shown interest in by liking it to them exclusively for a lower price, right? The second is to promote it site-wide, and this drops your listing permanently 5% lower than its current price, and you won't be able to raise it back up. Although the benefit of that is that Mercari will start to promote your listing across the platform to more people that they believe might be interested in your listing. Now, promoting to likers is a great way to drive sales. Promoting site-wide is a great way to potentially make more sales, obviously, but more so I use it to accumulate more likes and eyes on my listings so that I can promote in the future and sell them to those likers in the future. None of this matters though if you've already listed your item too low, because the higher you list your item, the more promotions and the more times, obviously, you can use the promote button in the future. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you want to, list stuff at outrageous prices to, be able to promote hundreds and hundreds of times, right? But it does mean that you'll want to list everything higher than you believe, its perceived value is, or whatever it's worth, or what you think it will sell, right? So then you want to use, once you do list it higher, like we talked about, then you want to use the promotions to drive interest and drive sales. Tip number 3 is to accumulate reviews. Now, just like any e-commerce platform, the more social proof that you have as a seller, well, the easier it will be to actually then sell. Now, this means potentially selling stuff in the future and initially for less profit than maybe you might have wanted to, just for the positive review. The more reviews you accumulate, the higher you can price stuff in the future, and the less buyers will think twice about purchasing from you in that future. Now, don't get me wrong. When I first started selling on Mercari, I sold practically everything for a profit, and most items I did actually list higher than that. Although there were also plenty of items that I took ridiculously low offers on or sold for 0 profit or like 10 cents profit, because I understood that those sales would then lead to more 5-star reviews, which would then obviously lead to more sales at higher prices in the future. Now, when most buyers come to my store, well, they don't even think twice about purchasing anything because they see the social proof and they just innately trust. And this tip is super crucial no matter what platform you're selling on, but especially on Mercari. Tip number 4 is very similar to that last tip, obviously, and that is to accumulate each one of the seller badges or as many of the seller badges as possible. And they also display on your store's homepage along with the reviews and will help increase your store's social proof on the platform. These badges include the member since badge. So mine specifically says member since 2017, since that's when I joined. Now, I joined in 2017, and I don't think I ever listed anything until late 2018, early 2019. But obviously, this isn't something that's super, super important. So this is probably the least important badge. Really all it displays is, how long and how trustworthy your store's been being for an extended period of time, obviously assuming that you've been doing it for a while. So you really don't have to worry about this one too much, although it can help as you build a store into the future. The second one is a fast responder badge. To get this badge, you'll want to respond to all messages in a timely fashion. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to have the app open every minute, checking it to make sure that you're not getting messages, okay? But what it does mean is that if you do see one of those push notifications and those little red notifications next to the Mercari app, well, then check it because it could be a message. And it could also be a sale as well, which would be great for you, right? So the faster you respond to these messages, not only will you get the potential badge, but it will also result in happier customers, which will then result in more reviews and better reviews for you in the future. The third one is the quick shipper badge. And this is pretty self-explanatory. Customers like fast shipping. So do your best to ship products out on the days that they've been ordered. Now, if this, or really realistically, if you can't do that, as fast as you possibly can. The last one is the reliable badge. And you can get this badge by having a large majority of your orders delivered to buyers, which is pretty self-explanatory as well. Now, that means basically just don't cancel any orders or cancel very few orders, or, don't get any orders that are lost in the mail. So obviously that goes without saying, and this is pretty easy to control, but this is another one that you can get pretty easily if you're not drop shipping or anything like that. You shouldn't really worry about too many canceled orders or, undelivered orders or anything like that. most sellers are going to be able to get this one fairly quickly. And badges play a big part in customer trust on Mercari, so if you can, go out and try to get them. Finally, tip number 5 is to offer free shipping. Now, I talk a lot about offering more listing value than your competitors, regardless of if those competitors are actually on that same platform or a completely different platform. Now, that means that you're not only competing with other Mercari sellers for a sale, but it means that you're competing against other sellers across other platforms that are selling similar items everywhere, okay? So that means online, retail, Amazon, Poshmark, any other site, any similar listing you're competing on, okay? So since companies like Amazon and others have really kind of reset the market and most buyers now expect fast and free shipping, well, it really makes your listings more attractive to the buyer if you also offer fast and free shipping. That's where that comes into play. So there you have it, guys. 5 tips to sell more on Mercari and make more money on the platform. All right, so I want to talk really briefly about 2 ways that you can promote on Mercari to really step your game up here. So really briefly, looks like this person just is about to make me an offer. Completely unreal. Oh, just got a sale. That's cool. All right, so we're not going to focus on that really fast. I just want to show you 2 ways to promote your listings that are really going to help benefit you and help you sell more on the app, okay? So 2 ways to promote. If you see right here, you see the promote button on the left of these listings. You'll see that this top one, the orthopedic eye patch, has no likes, but it's gotten 3 views. The microderma roller has gotten 11 views, and it's got 1 like. The cervical neck traction has 1 like and 11 views. iPhone XS Max case has 1 like and 24 views. And it's a really great way to show you, how really the demand of certain products, and obviously a lot of these are new. I just listed them like the past 2 days because I'm selling a lot of stuff really, really fast. But you'll start to see some things accumulate 4 likes and 36 views. 6 likes and 37 views, 4 likes and 134 views with the Glock holster. So as you leave them a little bit longer, they're going to get more views and more likes, which then you can promote to more likers. So if you're patient, it's really going to benefit you. So if you hit this promote button, there's 2 things that are going to pop up. Promote to likers only, and then promote to everybody. Both of these work very, very well. What promote to likers are is you're going to offer a private discount. So I actually have, I believe, used out all my my promote to likers for the day. I promoted this one all the way down to $6. I don't think that I can promote any of the other ones. I'm pretty sure that I'm limited for the current time period, and I'm also limited for and this is something you'll understand if you don't understand it right away. I'm also promoted to I can't promote to everybody today because I've already reached my promotional limit. So I'm just going to explain to you how you can use these to your advantage. So for example, let's say that I hadn't promoted this all the way down, right? So this kitchen culinary blowtorch that sells for $23 has 3 likes on it. So the very first thing that I might want to do is promote this to likers. And if I would promote this to likers, I can make an offer to them. And what that's going to do is they've demonstrated that they're interested in it by liking it. And what liking means on Mercari essentially is that you're basically kind of saving it for later in case the price drops. So a really effective way to prompt sales is to promote to likers. Now, I wouldn't promote this to likers and offer something really, really, barely cutting anything. I wouldn't offer it $19 because you see it sells for $23. So maybe I'd drop it all the way down. And remember, I got this for free on a cashback website. So it didn't cost me anything. It's 100% profit. So I might promote this, to likers and offer them $13, $10 off, right? Boom, that probably most likely would prompt a sale, and I'd still probably net $9 on that. So I just made $9 for grabbing this, listing on Mercari, waiting a week and promoting it to likers because I got it on a cashback website. And that is the power of online arbitrage, especially with the cashback websites, but really with anything. A few of these have gotten on coupon websites as well, and some of them are from liquidation palettes, but the majority of these I think are cashback that I list on Mercari most of the time. Now, another way, so here's another great example. 10 likes, 119 right here on this adapter. So another way that you could promote, if for example you didn't have any likes, so if you do accumulate more than 1 like on it, so that's this 2 right here up top and this 10, those are things that you're going to want to promote to likers. But this right here, the tournament size ladder ball set, has 29 views. so people are viewing it, but nobody's liked it yet. So in that case, what I might want to do is I might want to promote it to everybody. And what that will do is it will drop it like a buck or two and then promote it site-wide. Mercari is just going to show it to a lot more people. It's going to bring more views and potential eyes on that so that you can accumulate likes on it too, and even a potential sale. So that's the two main ways to use the promote button to sell more. It works very, very well. As you'll see here, I literally just got a sale on this by doing so. So use that to your advantage. It will really help you sell more. So Laura Molina has a great question today on Mercari shipping and how to basically report the weight into Mercari so you can get the cheapest shipping option possible, ultimately so you can make more money on the platform, right? So she says, "Hi Brian, great tips. How much more weight should you add than what shows on the scale? For example, I entered an item for 0.5 pounds and Mercari sent me a message that it was too low and it should have been 1 pound. Please advise, thanks in advance." So a couple different things there in that question. First and foremost, I've personally never gotten a message from Mercari or an email from Mercari basically saying that I reported the weight on my item. That's never happened to me personally. And honestly, I don't think it's ever happened to any of my students. If it has, drop a question out or a comment down below and let me know that it's happened to you. Maybe it's more prevalent and I've just been lucky, right? But that said, I've never actually seen that before, so that's strange that they sent that to you. My first, kind of inclination there would be maybe you have a new seller account and you haven't reported that many things. Now, like I said, if I'm wrong, then let me know in the comment section as well. But that would be my guess, right? So first and foremost, I would just report it up. I would literally weigh it out. That's how I approach it, right? And this comes from a video, to give you a little backstory, on 5 Mercari tips to make more money on the actual site. Because one of the tips in that video that I recommended was kind of underreport the weight of your item so you can save a little bit of money on the shipping cost, because on Mercari there's different tiers, right? So ultimately, if you save a little bit of money, like $1 or $2, you're gonna be making more money and a higher margin on your product when you ship it, right? So it's just kind of a little tip, right? And I'm not saying hey, report something that's 5 pounds as 1 pound, but what I am saying is, because there's different tiers on Mercari, to answer your question specifically, and this is how I approach it, there's the $2.99 tier or something, then there's the $4.99 tier, and in between $4 and $5, and then there's the high tiers where it's $8, $9, $10 shipping, etc. Right? So I always try to hit that tier that's either the $2.99 one, or I'll underreport it so I get $4 to $5 shipping on an item, right? So my two answers, first and foremost, are if you don't want to go that route, then obviously, and this is answer number 1, then obviously just charge for shipping and literally report the specific weight of your items. Now, I recommend for a lot of people to offer free shipping, because I think personally that psychologically it kind of helps your item sell a little bit better, because so many people are used to the free shipping on eBay now and the free shipping that Amazon Prime provides, that if you don't offer free shipping a lot of times, it's going to be a really big strike on your account. Or not on your account, excuse me, but to your item, and it's going to kind of hold you back from selling that item a little bit further, or a little bit easier, excuse me. Now, there are certain eBay sellers that will argue against that all day, and if it works for you and it works for them, then by all means continue to do that, right? So you can charge shipping, and that's one of the things that I'd recommend that you do, right? So if you have a heavy item that you're trying to ship out, then charge shipping for that item specifically. You don't have to offer free shipping for every item, okay? Or you can even charge shipping on every item and see how that works for you. Ultimately, I'm just giving recommendations, and it's up to you kind of to test those things out for yourself and see what works for you better, right? I can recommend as many things as I want, but ultimately what's going to work best for you, you'll find in the data and testing it out yourself. So that'd be my first recommendation, but I would recommend that you go with the second recommendation, which is just the simple approach that I do. So the majority of my items are relatively lightweight. And they're probably within, 0.5 pounds to 2 pounds, right? Each time. Usually a little bit closer to the 2 pound mark, or 1.5 pounds, right? But I literally never report an item above a pound. So what I'll do is I'll weigh the item on my shipping scale. If you don't have a shipping scale, then you can literally just hop on a normal scale, then write down the number, right? Hop on the scale again, obviously, with the item, and then take the difference, and you know what that item weighs, right? So in that specific aspect, let's say that you weighed an item and it was 1.2 pounds, right? But because it's 1.2 pounds, you might be charged $6 or $7 on Mercari for that. I don't remember the exact tiers and when they actually fall off. But what would happen is if you put it down to just 0.11 pounds, right? Then clearly you're going to be charged $4.95 or $4.99 for that item instead of $7 or $8. And that $3 margin can be huge and make the difference and make or break you between a profitable item and a profitable sale, or an item that's
that's not profitable or that you're even losing money on, right? So that's how I approach it. That's my general approach for 99.9% of items. I weigh it out, I see exactly how much it weighs, and then I literally just kind of underrate it a little bit to get down to that next tier, right? I'm not going crazy with it, but I am utilizing that to my advantage. So I hope that answers your question, Laura. That's a great question. It's one that I get asked a lot because there are like weird shipping tiers on Mercari, as anybody that's sold on Mercari would know. So I hope that kind of answers your question. I've never actually gotten the message myself either, but maybe other people have. I would honestly just ignore that and either charge shipping initially, or simply, report the first couple accurately if you have a new selling account, right? Then I would assume and guess that they probably, won't continue to like bombard you with messages like that in the future, because I don't get them and I've sold hundreds of things on the platform. So hope that helps out, Laura. If you guys have questions yourself specifically, drop them in the comment section down below. I would love to answer them for you. Also, remember, Online Arbitrage Pro 5.0 is literally about to launch probably later this week. I've outlined a lot of the different things that I have to get done this week coming forward, but it will launch soon. That means for a limited time, and it's coming to a close, you can still get into Online Arbitrage Pro 5.0 through the pre-launch sale down in the description. That is the first link in the description. You can get in for $600 off the purchase price. Use that $600 savings to then jumpstart your reselling business a little bit faster by buying more products, right? When 5.0 does launch, it will jump all the way up to $995. So act now if you want to get in for just $397, okay? With that being said, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Today, we're briefly going to talk about selling on Mercari. I want to cover the new smart pricing feature that they just introduced for sellers, how it can help you sell more, and more importantly, whether or not you should use it. So first and foremost, what is Mercari Smart Pricing? Mercari Smart Pricing is a feature that they just introduced to help you automate your sales and promotions on Mercari. And in my opinion, it's super exciting that they're rolling out these new features like this to help sellers sell more on the platform. Now, what I usually teach sellers to do, and this is a strategy that I even use myself every single day, is to set their prices very, very high and then promote their items site-wide to accumulate likes and interest. Then, once you do have that interest, you can promote to the likers to convert them to buyers. The new smart pricing feature eliminates the need for that because it's literally a set it and forget it automation that Mercari will do for you. For example, let's say you set your initial price at like $40. Then you enable smart pricing with maybe a floor price of $15. Well, in that instance, Mercari would slowly drop your price and promote it site-wide for you over the coming weeks. And if no one purchased it, then eventually it would hit the floor price of $15 and smart pricing would be automatically turned off. And that kind of touches on how it can help you sell more, right? Instead of having to actually spend the time to promote your own listings site-wide, and keep in mind that you're only allowed to promote 10 of those per day, and having to actually spend the time to constantly make offers to those likers, this feature will automate the entire selling process for you. That way you can literally just focus on sourcing new products and listing them, and not necessarily having to worry about converting those people into potential buyers. So that begs the question then, should you use it? Now, I'm gonna answer this in two different ways, and I'll tell you, whether I think it's best for most people, and I'll also tell you whether or not I plan on using it myself in my own Mercari store. And it's important to understand that everybody runs their reselling business first and foremost differently, okay? For me specifically, I'm not too keen on utilizing this feature all that much, to be honest. The reason for that is that I'm more interested in listing my products high, like I said before, and selling them at a higher price point, even if that means I have to wait a few weeks or a few months even for my items to sell. I'm personally willing to wait, have my cash flow tied up for longer periods of time, and really focus on building out a reselling business where I'm constantly adding profitable inventory with high ROIs. In that instance, the more profitable inventory you have listed, generally speaking, assuming it has a demand for it, then the more sales and the more profit you can expect to bring in every single month. And that might be your business model too, and your goals as well. Or you might be on the other side of the spectrum, right? You might be focused on turning over, profit and cash flow and flipping your products quickly. And in that case, then you might want to think about utilizing this feature a little bit more. There's really no right or wrong approach to this. It's really just what's right for you. So ask yourself if you're more focused on, profit over time, or if you're more focused on, flipping products quickly even if your ROIs and your profits a little bit lower. I see, one major advantage of this feature and really one major disadvantage. The major, advantage being obviously that, like we talked about, it takes your time out of the equation and sells for you. And that is big, don't get me wrong. The major disadvantage that I see, obviously, being that you're giving up control of what you can potentially sell your products for. Meaning that you could set smart pricing up across a variety of your listings, and then it ends up dropping all your prices significantly and killing your margins. Now, I do also suppose that, if they drop the price too low and you're not comfortable with the price and it hasn't accumulated, obviously, a buy or enough interest at that point, then at that point you could relist it, which really only takes about 20 seconds on Mercari anyway, set up smart pricing again, and have another automated go at it. And you can just keep rinsing and repeating that process. So that's my take on it. I've tested it out on dozens of my own listings, and it's worked well on some, but it's also tanked the price without much interest gained on others. So I plan on just continuing to list my prices high and then promote them myself. It really only usually takes me about 5 minutes in the morning to promote my 10 listings site-wide every day and make, maybe 10 listings to offers depending on the listings. And that's not something that I kind of have like a formula for. It's kind of just like a gut feel that I say, hey, I want to promote this today. I see it's accumulated more interest. You don't have to follow my model though. I'd recommend testing it out yourself, on some of your listings, not necessarily all if you have no experience with it. If it's working well, then obviously keep using it. And if not, then your best bet is to just use what I recommend, which is list high, accumulate interest, and sell with that technique. I also have several other tips that I've outlined in the video right here if you're interested on other ways that you can increase your Mercari sales. But I'd love to hear from you though. What are your thoughts on the new smart pricing feature that Mercari has rolled out for sellers? Have you used it? If so, what has your experience been with it? Would you recommend it or not? And if you haven't used it, do you plan to? Let me know down in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next one.